Hey friends, in this video you will be able to learn hypertext markup language, which is widely known as HTML. By learning HTML, you can create your own websites, but actually HTML will just give you the skeleton of your website. You have to use CSS for some decorations. Now I'm going to use Sublime Editor, by means of which we can learn HTML right now. So what we have to do first, we just have to navigate to the Sublime Editor, and here I would like to save this in a folder that I have created recently for this HTML purpose. So let it be learn.html. Now I'm starting my program. So first of all, we will learn how to display a paragraph. So for that we have to use this tag p. So this is called paragraph tag. So here I'm giving the hi hello text inside this p tag, right? So first one is the opening tag. As you see, angle bracket p and an angle bracket, and inside this we are giving the hi hello message, which is to be printed in the screen, that is a browser screen. And this is the close tag. As you see, it has a forward slash also. Now I'm going to open this in browser. If you are using notepad, you cannot find this option. You have to go to that file and open with a browser that you need to open. Here I'm simply opening this by just right clicking and then choosing the open in browser. As you see, the hi hello is the output that we have printed, right? So this is the way by means of which you can print any text. I mean, you can give any text as a paragraph to your web page. Then so this is okay with this, and now I'm giving another text. This is nothing but hi hello, I'm Ari from Nellai. Okay, so if I open this, as you see, whatever we are giving in between this b and the p tag, that is the end tag, that will be printed, that will be there in our web page. Now I'm giving the heading. So as you see, there are 6 types of heading. So first one is h1. So I'm going to give para. Okay, para, I'm going to close that, and as you see, para is the output that we have obtained in the screen. And h2 is also for heading, but this heading will be little bit smaller than that of h1. And there are 6 kind of headings, as I have already said. So we see h1, h2, h3, h4 and h5, finally h6. Although the number h6 is greater, that is the most smallest heading in HTML. H1 is the most biggest, that is the extra large heading. Para followed by, it's like a train, right? So H1 is the most important heading in HTML, whereas H6 is less important. H1 is the most biggest and H6 is not. And now we know how to print, how to show a paragraph and how to show a heading. Now I'm going to show a paragraph which is actually Tamil, and I'm going to bold this using the tag B. Okay, so you have to wrap the P tag within this bold tag. And if I refresh this paragraph tag, which consists of the text Tamil, will be bold. Okay, so using this B tag you can bold it, and also there is another tag to bold this. Strong is another tag available in HTML in order to bold the text that is inside the P tag. And it is not necessary that you have to give everything inside the P tag and that should be wrapped by this BR strong tag. You can directly give using this BR strong tag. Okay, so always it's not a necessary one for going with P tag. So the output is same even though if you are just trying with just B. And now I'm going to do, just I'm going to bold this good only. Okay, then you have to wrap about this good. So as you see, hi hello, I'm good. So good is just bolden. Okay, so now how to italicize a text. Okay, so I'm going to italicize a text. As you see, hello is tilted, and there is another way. So by using this M tag, M is not but emphasis. So you can also tilt down your text by using this M tag. And to underline your text, you have to use U tag. Okay, so U is the element used to under tag, and you have to strike through. If you want to strike through the text that is inside this, you have to use del tag. Okay, delete, you can easily strike through. So there are n number of tags available like this in HTML. You can learn. Learning everything, learning all of them is not our scope. We are just going to cover the basics in just 25 minutes. So let's go with some of the basics you have to know in order to learn the basics of HTML. So every HTML program will have a definite structure like this. Okay, so HTML has a particular structure that is just like this. So these meta tags are actually for some kind of purposes. For now, I'm not going to give these meta tags. I just going to remove them all. We just want to learn what is the basic structure of HTML. As you see, so the tag type, it actually says the version you are using. Okay, it will give the description about the version of the HTML you are using. You can use whether HTML or HTML5 or any other versions, and some of the documentations can be given in this tag type. As you see, that starts with an exclamatory sign, and if you see there, the HTML tag is the first tag that is started. Okay, so if you are writing any HTML program or any HTML script, you must start with HTML. That is the first root tag. And if you are refreshing this, there is nothing printed because we have given nothing. And inside this head tag, okay, there are two main parts in our HTML program. First one is head tag and the second one is body tag. Body tag is the tag in which every content will be displayed. Okay, so if you want to see the content, you have to give every contents that is needed to be shown in this page. You have to give inside the body, and it is not necessary that you must give inside this body. You can give it in everywhere, but this is the rule that you have to give inside the body. Okay, and it is not necessary that you have to use p tag. You can simply use, just if you are saying hi, it will be printed. Okay, so as I have said, it is not necessary to give inside this body tag, but that is the rule followed in HTML. Okay, if you are a good programmer, you just follow the rules. Okay, okay, we are not rule followers, we are the rule breakers, right? That's why. Okay, so now inside this head I'm giving the title Infinite Tamil. So if you are seeing there, the title will be changed to Infinite Tamil. Okay, so using this title tag, you can set the title of your web page. So inside this head tags, I have given my title to this web page. And now what we are going to do here is, as you see, this white color is not actually desirable for me. I don't like this color. I like black color. So I'm just gonna change this color of this body background. So how to do that? We need a little bit of CSS. Okay, so we need a little bit of CSS. There are three types of CSS, but now I'm not going to follow the CSS. Okay, so I'm just going to use this PG color property. Okay, sorry, PG color attribute. Okay, so every tags can have an attribute. Okay, so body is a tag that has an attribute PG color, and I'm going to give the value inside this colons. Okay, I'm going to give these values inside this double quotes. So the value is black. If I refresh this, as you see, the body color is black. Okay, so by means of this, you can change the background color of your body. So body is nothing but the entire portion, in which we are going to show the content. And now the heading I'm going to show there is Infinite Tamil. As you see, there is no heading shown because the heading color is also black, the PG color is also black. If you want to distinguish between this H1 and body, you have to use some other attributes to change the color of H1, but there is no way to change the color in rather than using CSS. Okay, so I'm going to use the CSS property style. So style is an attribute indeed, but this is a little bit CSS called inline CSS. Okay, there are three types of CSS, as I have said earlier. This is called inline CSS, in which I'm going to give the color of the heading, and the color is going to be green. Okay, and we can also change the color. I don't like this green, I just need a little green. I don't need this dark green. So how to change the color of and Infinite Tamil? Oh my god, this screen is also not actually liked by me. You can change the color using this RGB. So RGB is nothing but red, green, blue. If you are giving 255, 255 is the maximum value. If you are giving 255 to the first position, which actually denotes to the red color, and if you are giving the 255 to the second position, that will denote to the green color. And if you are giving the last position 255, that means it is blue color. Okay, RGB. And you can give any color between the ranges 0 to 255. If you are giving all color 255, it is actually white, because presence of all colors is white and absence of all colors is black. If you are giving all 3 to 0, it will be black. And now I like this color green. Okay, I give red 100, green 255 and blue 100. This green is much loved by me because it actually, black and green combination is always just cool. Now we have known how to change the heading color. So as I have said earlier, don't forget that semicolon. Okay. So now I'm going to change the font family. So we can give lot of properties inside this style. So every styles are actually separated by semicolon. I'm going to change the font to Vedana. So earlier I have changed it to Consolas. Now I'm changing the font family to Verdana. So as you see, the font is changed and font size is increased by using this attribute with the name font hyphen size. And you can use different units, not just px. You can also use em, point, that is pt, and you can also use percentage also, but that is not desirable right there. Okay, well, so there are a lot of units you can use to change the font size of the right. You can change the font size like this. So these are some of the properties that is coming under this style attribute. Don't forget the style attribute. This is much important if you are just using inline css. Okay, so css is nothing but something that is used to decorate. Now I'm going to give a paragraph. Hi, hello, how are you? I am Ari from Nellai. Okay, it's not Nekai, it's Nellai, and I love programming. And as you see, I'm going to close this paragraph also. If you see, it is not also get printed there because it's also black in color. I'm going to change the color to um, let it be a light green. Okay, but it is actually too small, so I'm going to change the color, or sorry, I'm going to change the size to 50 px. Okay, enough. So infinite Tamil. Hi, hello, how are you? I'm Ari from Nellai and I love programming. So these are the techniques, common techniques available to change the attributes of any text that is in our HTML script. And now, you know, what we are going to do here is I'm just going to bring the how are you to the next line. So in order to do that new line operation, you have to use this br tag. Br means break. So hi, hello, how are you? After printing hi, hello, how are you is coming to the next line. So this is the main usage of br tag. If you are not using br tag, it will not occur. So you have to use br tag in order to bring the text to the next line, also called as line feed or line break. Now I'm going to generate a link. So if I refresh this, as usual, the color of the link is also black and the pg color is also black. That is, I'm just going to take out this. I just need white now. So this is a link, but we have not given the link to which this reference should refer. Okay, so I'm going to give the hyper reference, that is nothing but href. So this a tag is nothing but an anchor tag. Okay, by means of this anchor tag we can generate any links. So https not generating, just linking. Okay, so https colon www.google.com. now as you see, this is turned into a link, and as I'm very poor, I don't have data connection. So if you are having a proper data connection, you can just internet connection, you can just click this Google, you will be there in the Google page. And this Google is the label I have given to this particular link. Okay, so this is why we are calling this as a hyperlink. So over the link we are just putting a label Google, okay, with the name Google. Now how to load an image. Okay, how to load an image. So img is the tag available to do that, and src is the attribute which stands for source. You can select any image. I'm going to say select this handsome guy image and paste this in the same directory I'm working with, and I'm going to put the I'm going to set the name here in this src. As you see, this handsome guy's image is actually blitted there in the background, and I'm going to give an alternate text. So why we are giving this alternate text? And don't forget the extension jpg. Okay, so if you are using png format, you have to give png there, and the alt is actually nothing but the alternative text that we can print over that screen if your image is not properly loaded, or if you have done any mistake in specifying the name of the image. Okay, so by using this alt tag, you can give the user proper instruction about your image. And as you see, we can change the height of your image. Oh mine. Okay, so this guy's image is actually now reduced of height, and with this we can also change the width also. Oh my god, it's actually terrific, right? So you can change the height and width by using these attributes, height and width. Okay, so 100 px is nothing but the value we are giving. So px is a unit, it stands for pixels. You can also give em, and pt and percentage value is also acceptable. Now what we are going to do here is we are going to generate a link by using an image. If you are touching an image, it will lead you to new page. Okay, so I'm just giving the image inside this anchor tag, and I'm going to give the hyper reference a value of google.com. If you are clicking this Hanson boys image, it will take you to the Google page, and I have said earlier I don't have proper internet connection as I am very poor. Okay, well, now what we are going to do here is, and as you see, we are now able to load the image. We are now able to load the image, and we can also do some kind of operations, so as I have said earlier, whatever that inside this body will be blitted over the web page. Okay, so that is our home page. Home page is the page in which our contents are actually blitted. So now what we are going to do here is I'm going to uh, let you know what is actually list. Okay, so there are two types of lists in HTML. First one is unordered list. So unordered list, we are not going to give numbers to the data items. So in order to implement an unordered list, you have to use this UL tag, and inside that UL tag you have to give this li tag. Inside the li tag you have to give the content. Tiger, panther, eagles are the contents of the unordered list. As you see, this is the bullet point, it is not a number. So bullet point is the default shape. We can also change the shape if you are well aware of this CSS concept. And now I'm going to give a heading to this. So as you see, the creatures is the heading that I have given to this unordered list. Tiger is the first data, panther is the second data, eagle is the third data inside the unordered list. Now I'm going to change this one ordered list. To change this to an ordered list, you just change UL to OL, and it's not Joel, it's just OL. And as you see, if you are refreshing this, these bullet points are actually turned into numbers, that is 1 2 3. So this is how you can implement a list. And now we are going to implement a table. So for implementing table, you have to give the tag table tag, right, table, and just enclose that. And now tr is for first row. So th is header of the table. So first header is name and the second header is color. Now if I refresh this, name and color is there in the header. But as you see, this is not actually in the format of table. In order to change it into a format of table, you have to give the border a particular value. I'm going to give 1. As you see, it is actually a little bit looking like a table. You can also customize this if you are well aware of CSS programming. And now we are going to give the data td, okay, in another row. So that's why I'm giving another tr tag, and inside that I'm actually saying the td. So as you see, heading is actually a little bit bold, and the data content that is actually blitted over there using this td, that is not actually bold as we are expecting. That's like header. Okay, so now in third row I'm going to implement a third row. There are eagle and its color is brown. So this table is actually for particular reasonless. Tiger is orange in color, eagle is brown in color. I'm not speaking about the leucocephalus, the head of the eagle is not spoken of. Now I'm going to load a video. Okay, so video, just like we have done for image, we are going to do this for video. Video is the tag that is available. Now I'm going to choose one video from my collection, and I'm going to load this inside our web page, and I'm going to paste that video in our current working directory, and I'm going to change the name as it is a little bit complex for me. Just it is not vid. Okay, so vid.mb4, don't forget the extension of your video. And as you see, the video is actually here, but it is not playing because we have not given any controls. Just give the controls for this video, and now play this video. You can actually play the video. For copyrights, I have just turned off the volume of this video, right? So you can give the controls, and you can also change the width and height of your video by specifying those values, right? As you see, it is very smaller right now, and you can also do some operations as we have given the controls. Okay, if you are not giving the controls, it will not be possible. And you can also give some desirable text inside this video tag. Okay, this is a video that will be much helpful for the user who is actually viewing your code or anything. Okay, so if you are just mistaking your name, I'm not giving vid.mb4, but I'm giving vid6.mb4, which is not available. That there is a message, no video with supported format. Okay, so don't forget to give the proper name. Okay, so now I'm going to load an audio. So for audio, just change the video to audio tag and then load an audio. So it is quite complex for me to select particular music from my folder. And anyways, I'm going to select one song from these songs, and I'm going to just load that. I'm just going to paste this into my current working directory, and and I'm going to rename it as odd. Okay, that is weird, it is odd. Okay, odd.mp3. mp3 is an extension, don't forget the extension, don't forget to specify it, and you can play this. Okay, don't forget the controls track that is available, sorry, controls attribute that is available inside this audio also, don't forget that also. Now you can play your audio. So this is how you can load your audio inside your web page. Okay, so now what we are going to learn here is, so we have done some most concepts in our HTML. It's not actually most concepts. Now I'm going to tell you how to implement form elements. To implement a form element, you have to use a form tag. Inside the form tag, you can specify the input tag. Input tag may be a text or anything. If you are specifying the input tag type as text, what is printed there is a text box in which we can enter anything, and as you see, you can enter anything. If you are changing this type to something else rather than text, there are a lot of types. Okay, so if I'm changing it to text, it is actually text, and I'm going to give a label. Okay, label is nothing but it's like a sticker, it's like a name, it's like something that indicates what actually our text box is. So if I'm giving this name is a label over there, and now I'm going to make this label belonging to this input box, the text box. So I'm going to set an id equal to t and a label for t. Okay, so the id is actually for the input text box, and I'm going to make the label, and that is related to this, so label for t, and I'm going to create a button using this button tag. Infinite Tamil is actually overlapping over that button. So button name is actually enter. Okay, so creating a label is a simple task, but making it belonging to this text box is not actually quite complex. That is also very easy. So if you are changing this type to email, if you are using phone, the keypad will show the email option such as @gmail.com. If you are using password, it will be encrypted. I mean, it will be not shown to your eyes, and it can be number. You can enter any number. If you are entering any other character, it will not be there. You can enter actually numbers and increase and decrease. There will be an option for that. So there are number of types you can specify over the, not just text, number, email, or anything else. So now I'm going to make this label belonging to this type. Okay, I'm going to make a checkbox. So here I'm going to give a heading for that. So h1 your fav, that means your favorite. So I'm going to create a checkbox. So input type is equal to checkbox. Okay, so now as you see, one checkbox is there, but I need a lot. Okay, I need a lot and lot. So I'm going to create 3 boxes. I can check all the 3 if I need. Okay, so it is not just an, okay, so here I'm going to create a label for first box. Why I'm giving the label after specifying input? Because that will be good if you are giving. So you don't need to give the label first. That will not be beautiful for in the case of this text boxes, this check boxes. Okay, so you have to give that after the checkbox. You can give the label. So I'm giving the id i1 for the first input type, and label is created for that i1, and the second one will be given the id of i2, and a label will be set for that. So label for i2, and the third one will have the id of 3, and the third label will also have be set for that, so for i3. Okay, now we can break. So break will not have an end tag. Okay, that is why we are calling that an empty tag. So empty tag is the tag that doesn't have the end tag. Okay, so pr is an end tag, sorry, an empty tag that doesn't have an end tag. Okay, so pr is used to make some line feeds. Okay, so we can give some line breaks there, and I'm going to change this all the checkboxes to radio. Okay, so radio, these are actually radio buttons. If you're changing, I'm just changing this type to radio. Okay, so if you're changing the type to radio, what is witnessed is actually nothing but the radio buttons. Okay, now we are going to do something more funnier, not funnier actually, more interesting. Okay, so I'm going to create a drop down menu like something. Okay, so select is the tag used to implement that. So in first option I'm giving tiger, in second option I'm giving cat, and in the last option I'm giving eagle. Okay, if you are checking over there in tiger, cat, eagle, I have just read this cat from the end. Okay, I have read that as tag, not as cat. Well, so this is how you can implement a drop down. If you are clicking over there, all the options you have given inside the select will be shown there, and you can select any one of that. Okay, so this is the time that this voice is going to fade. Okay, yeah, I feel a little bit sad also. So these are some of the basics available in our HTML. So you can use these concepts to learn further more of HTML. And if it is actually the time, or if it is actually the destiny, I will also upload some more basics in our HTML. But these are the most basics that you must know. And thank you for watching very patiently. Thank you for watching my videos.